What is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another AlpenFury construction update. Slowly we're getting down to the line, but to start off, showing you some footage of the double inverted top hat, which again looks amazing. Some grass work has been laid, some sod has been laid down underneath the base of the double inverted top hat, in the airtime hill kind of near International Showplace, because that area has to be accessible to guests so that they are able to watch the shows, and a new curb was laid as well. These low zones do not have their lockout gates in yet and fences, but those will be added in shortly. Moving on to probably the most exciting thing in this update is the Ice Wander roll. Has now pretty much been semi-completed. At least all the track work for the Ice Wander roll is complete, so we have everything after the Skyflyer loop, Ice Wander roll, Fire Serpent roll, and everything up until the brake run is in. Not all the supports are in for the Ice Wander roll because some of the supports that have been missing due to lack of shipments do connect to the Ice Wander roll. So you're going to see that two of the pieces of track are actually floating and they're not connected to any support. So it was weird to see, but it's holding itself up. Obviously, it would never be able to run like that with any trains. But as soon as they get those shipments, those supports will go in and it'll be able to hold itself up much better. But yeah, we're getting down to the wire. It's getting really close. All we have left is the stall, so all we need is these stall supports. All the stall track pieces are there. They can't really start on them because there are a lot of pieces missing, so that they can put the track on the supports. That's why they had all the supports for the Ice Wander roll, so they were able to put all the track down with all the connections, even though they were missing some of the supports. They were actively working on tightening the bolts throughout the coaster. They were working a little bit on the Ice Wander roll this morning. They were working a little bit near the Fire Serpent roll, kind of at the base of that element, just before you go up into the stall. So a lot of active work going. It is a Thursday, so the crew was definitely working. I'm hoping that they will be working a bit tomorrow, and I'm sure they will. I am hoping that the shipment arrives tomorrow, or today, I guess if you're going to watch this on Friday. I think I'm going to release this on Friday. Hopefully some shipments have come in tonight or later today. But yeah, I mean, not really much more in terms of track work. I mean, this is a lot of track work that they did in a very short period of time. I mean, this went up in like a day. It went very quickly. So you're seeing this a week later from my last construction update, but this Ice Wander roll went up in a day. It was very quick. Besides that, over in the station, the wood roof is complete. Therefore, they were able to lay down shingles on top of the roof of the station. The exit building still needs some more details on it as well. It's still missing that clock and a couple more stripes and details. It'll probably look a little bit more similar to Tiny Tom's and the Grab and Go Mart. Those look amazing. There is an area that I do think that the lockers will go for AlpenFury. I think it'll go on the left there, right across from Tiny Tom's, and I think those other buildings will be used for queuing in the entrance of the ride as well, because AlpenFury will have paid lockers. By the way, the ones at Yukon Striker were $3, so it's a lot cheaper than the ones in the States, because I know in Cedar Point and Kings Island, I think they're almost $5 US, which is I give or take $7 Canadian. So these are cheaper lockers, which is a great thing. If you aren't a big fan of lockers, I would highly recommend that you invest in a fanny pack or some cargo shorts so you can put everything in your pockets, or keep things minimal and not bring as many items into the park. Maybe like just your phone and your sunglasses and your wallet. Anything you might need, like everything should be on your phone. Maybe a portable charger, anything that can fit in a pocket, which would be so much easier than worrying where you're going to have to put your bag, because small fanny packs and any of the smaller items are able to go in the movable bin systems at Yukon Striker and AlpenFury, which I'll show you here in a second. So Yukon Striker removed the bigger bins for your bags, and now it's just the small ones where you're able to slip your phone or your fanny pack. And AlpenFury will have the same. The lockers aren't all that big. They could probably fit like a medium-sized bag, but if you have like a bag that's filled to the brim with like swimming clothes and sunscreen and anything else that you might need, I'm not sure if this is gonna fit in the locker. Like there are bigger lockers at the front of the park that you're able to rent, so maybe they might fit in there, but I would highly recommend that you keep things minimal while visiting the park, or even leave things in your car if you have to go back out and come back in. That would benefit you greatly from having to pay the money. But even if you do have to pay the money, it's only $3. And I think down the future that these lockers could be transferable. I don't know at the moment if they will be transferable, like the other Cedar Fair parks. Like I know at Kings Island, Mystic Timbers, Banshee, Orion, and Flight of Fear have transferable lockers, so you're able to move your lockers throughout the day from various rides. And it's all under one price instead of having to pay multiple times. So that would be great if they were able to implement that. I know right now it's just Yukon Striker and it will be just AlpenFury. So, but I think that Wonderland will probably implement lockers into some of the other rides. But I think, guys, we're really lucky that they aren't removing them completely. Guys, I could take a whole video talking about lockers and bins. As an ex-ride out myself, I've seen it all with bins and lockers and phones and bags and bringing things on the rides and not knowing where to leave your things. So I'm not gonna go there. I won't talk about that today. I mean, I could make a whole video about that if you really want me to. But yeah, I just highly recommend keeping it minimal. We're very, very lucky that there aren't any metal detectors, so you will be able to have your phone in the ride, because AlpenFury does go over pathways, and they could have easily implemented a system like Steel Vengeance, what I think is a horrible system. I hate Steel Vengeance's system, and I'm so glad that Wonderland is doing this. I think it's going to work really great. It's already working really great with Yukon Striker. So yeah, I think it's going to be great for AlpenFury, and I don't think it's going to be as much of a nuisance as a lot of you are thinking. The biggest plus to this is that operations will be sped up immensely, so you won't have to worry about slower dispatches with the bins on the platform. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a tangent there, but back to the construction update. A ton of work has been put into the station. The PLC room is being closed off. They were actually, if you look at the launch track, the launch fins are now uncovered. So the LSMs, you're able to see them now. The brake run, they were always uncovered, but on the launch track, on launch 1, they were uncovered as well. So that was cool. I think they'll be programming the launch hopefully sometime soon. I think they're able to program the speed without having the train on it, so that's great. Inside the tunnel, there was a lot of work going on, a lot of action in there. Rockscapes is clearly on site and hard at work at finishing off that tunnel for us. As stated in the last video, I do think the trains are inside the mountain on their transfer track. It's hard to see, it's hard to know. I don't know if they're in there. It's just, that's an educated guess. One last thing I want to touch on was there's this random hole in the mountain, and they were digging it out. It almost seems like it's going to be an access route to the launch track for maintenance, so easier access to get there. I think that this is all that's going to be. I don't think it's going to be anything for future edition, even though there are plans for future editions to be inside the mountain as stated on the construction tour. I don't think that this is part of it, but it was very interesting to see, and who knows, maybe I am wrong. Maybe this is not an access tunnel. Maybe this has something to do with the future attraction. So anyways, we'll see, but it is very small. But hope you guys enjoyed this construction update. That's going to pretty much do it. Ice Wander Roll's looking great. Can't wait to see that stall go up, hopefully sometime soon. Just need to get those supports on site, but hopefully they'll arrive within the next, by tomorrow or hopefully next week, please. We're so close. I think as soon as this ride is complete, everything's going to be in overdrive and they'll start cycling. Hopefully very, very shortly after the ride is complete. But yeah, take it easy, guys. Stay tuned for more updates to come, and I'll see you later.